What do you make of the Kansas City Chiefs, Rod, when you looked at them last night and you've seen them for 8 weeks? What do you have for me on that front?
It's just, first of all, you can't be minus 11 turnover margin, right? You can't have 19 turnovers, by far the most in the National Football League through the first 7 weeks. It just can't happen. You can't think you're going to win football games that way. I think they're just pushing. They're decently well running the football. I just think Patrick Mahomes and the offense is just trying to do too much. They're always trying to hit a home run every play on every down. And if you watch that game, he at times took what the defense gave him, but he still tried to push it down the field because I think that's what everybody expects of the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm a little surprised that hasn't changed yet. And I think Eric Bieniemy, and I think Coach Reed, I think they'll get that straightened out on the offensive side of it. They just got to take care of the football. Defensively, it was really good to see them kind of, come around and make some plays on the defensive side. Frank, he hasn't been, he's been kind of banged up and beat up throughout the whole year. So hopefully they'll just keep getting better on the defensive side of it. And if they can do that, then, hopefully they can win some football games.
Yeah, I know. I go back and forth between, if they just cut out the turnovers, they'll be fine. And then I see how they play defensively. But then I saw the way they played defensively last night. And then I say, but that was, a Giants offense that's missing tons of parts and has a quarterback in Daniel Jones who I still don't know if he can be a championship quarterback in this league. So the evaluation just keeps kind of changing and shifting, but I eventually just land on the fact that they have some tremendously talented players that
they do,
with a staff that knows how to deploy them. And is a Super Bowl hangover real, Rod? Is that real? Because that's also what kind of looks like what they're going through right now. What is that real?
I don't believe in jinx and all that stuff, right? But it sure seems like it, It just seems like when you get there and you lose, heck, I go back to when I was with the Raiders. We get there in 2002, and the next year, man, we looked terrible. It was just awful. So, is it there? I think, losing, getting so far and losing does have kind of a deflation for the football team. But at the end of the day, you have players, and Kansas City, Chris Jones kind of showed up for him last night.
Clark,
he showed up, and he's been banged up and beat up. Even after the game, he was limping, kind of to the tunnel. So you can kind of see where they're kind of beat up and banged up a little bit, and they do have so much talent. And I just think they're pushing. I just think they've been so explosive for the last couple years, and we expect everybody in the world who watches football expect them to throw the ball down the field, and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, and making those big plays. And they've been pushing it. And I think when you do that, and you're not confident with a young offensive line, which they have, I think they're getting better. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes really trusts that offensive line yet, because sometimes the pocket isn't collapsed and he still gets out of it. And, so that tells me that he believes that it's going to be collapsed, right? It's going to get pushed inside and he's going to have to get out anyway. But I think it's a long season. This is the first year for 17 games. I know there's a lot of football left. If the defense can get halfway there, if they can just not have the turnovers, they can win some football games, because they look, and you did say it, I didn't want to disparage the New York Giants offense. They played against the New York Giants offense, and they don't have a lot of their weapons. But at the end of the day, they play who they play, and they played well enough to win. And in the National Football League, that's what matters.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.